What's happening? So, here shortly, I'm going to explain to you how you can get YouTube TV for as little as 13 bucks a month. And that's a pretty good deal. So, let's get to it. Alright, so I have been using YouTube TV for about a month now. I've paid my first bill. Excuse me while I get straightened up here. And I've been pretty happy with it. I'm running it on an NVIDIA Shield, streaming device. It's currently my favorite streaming device. I also stream YouTube TV on my phone. I have an Android phone. I've streamed it on a cheap little $30 Roku downstairs. I have sitting in front of my treadmill, and also on my Xboxes. So I'm pretty happy with the app. Let's take a look at the app. So we come down here. There's the icon, TV. We'll click into it. I'll give you a quick explanation of the interface. So you can see at the top we've got these library, home, and live. All right, when you boot up the app initially, it boots up into the home location here, and it's just basically kind of like any other interface like Netflix and whatever. They kind of have their interface made the way that they want to present it to you. So you've got top picks for you at the top there, shows, resume watching, news, family. They've just kind of organized it the way that they want to organize it. At the very bottom, you've got the different networks there you can click on and go to. And then you can jump back to the top real quick with that. So that's the look there. I'm not spending too much time in here really, other than maybe the resume watching. You might want to, if you reboot it, come back into here if you're only watching a few channels or whatnot. The library over here, we'll explain this a little bit more in depth, but basically this is just where your recordings are. You can record shows or even networks, I think. I haven't messed around a whole lot with this yet, but I will kind of show you how it works. So, and I think, I need to double check, but I think you have unlimited DVR functionality, but it may just last for 30 days. I can't quite remember. So if I don't correct that or make a note of that and it's different and you're aware of that, please let me know down in the comments. We can come over here to live. This is where you're going to be mostly hanging out. And it's just kind of has the same interface as a normal cable box does if you have cable or have had cable in your past. You can see, you can scroll down. Now let's go back up to the top really quick. You can notice that you can go back and forth with the remote. Well, if you go over to the icon, your cable icon, the channel icon there, you can click on it, and it takes you to CBS's little, it's kind of like a little home page or something, you know, so you can kind of look, and it's got some of their shows and stuff and what's going on in their channel. So that's kind of interesting. If we go back, you can see right above there it says default right there. That is where you excuse me, where you can, if we click it, you could have various customized looks for your guide. So let's say you're not really into sports. Well, you can go in and you can hide all of the sports channels from showing up on the guide. Or news, if you're not into news, then you can hide those or whatever. Now, the deal is, though, is you need to download the app for your phone or tablet, and that's where you make your changes and such for this, for this. So, but other than that, that's the interface on the phone is, very similar. So that's how that works. The cool thing about that, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, is when you share this with, well, we'll talk about it now, is when you share this with your family, you can invite, I think it's 6 other family members to a group, and you do this on your phone. You get their email address, blast them an invite, and then they are invited into your group, and then they can go ahead and set up their own login. So you don't have to give them your username and your password. They can go ahead and set up their login and be able to customize their guide the way that they want to see it. So it's kind of nice if you have different tastes than other people, you can have that look. So we can stream down now, and if we click on one of these, so let's go down to the men's final here in tennis. If I click it, and we'll come up, and now we're streaming live TV. Now if we push up or down on our remote, you can see that this little deal comes up at the bottom. And if we go to the left, we can click that. That's the live guide. If we click on the live guide, you can see that the show, whatever we're watching, continues to play in the background, and we can go ahead and move up and down the guide. And if there's something else that we wanted to watch, let's say soccer, then we would click it. And there we go. Now we're back into that. So we can, again, click up or down on a remote, and if we go down now, we can see that, oh, the last channel we were watching, this is kind of like your previous, just your recently watched. On remotes, you have got your previous channel or last channel. You want to get to what it was you were watching quickly, you can come down here and get to that. So we could click KSL, and it should take us back to our tennis match. So that's how that works there. If we go back down here, you'll notice that you can pause, either run to the restroom, go grab a snack or a drink. You can pause it, and you can come back and unpause and continue to watch. It's kind of cool. You can go over to the right here. This is kind of info on what's going on. And if we continue over to the right to the 3 dots where it says more and click on it, we can change the quality of our show, of our stream there. We can change our captions. We've got audio options here. We've got stats for nerds. We can pull up and see what kind of a connection speed we've got, and our latency, what we're viewing in 1920 by 1080, all of that kind of geeky, nerdy stuff. You can see our dropped frames, so it's kind of interesting. Let's turn that off and go over and click it again and turn it off, and then if we want to send feedback. So that's those options there. We can, if we come up to the bar here, we could speed up a little bit. Can we go back? Let's go back. We want to rewind. We could rewind a little bit here. And then continue back and catch up if we miss something. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So there you go, and you can see all of the channels. The cool thing I like about YouTube TV so far, I don't think all of the others have this. I'm not sure, they may partially, but here in Utah where I'm at, I've got all of my local channels are provided. So that's pretty cool. I don't have to have a separate antenna necessarily. So that's neat. You've got your ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox channels. The channel selection on YouTube TV seems to be pretty doggone good in my opinion. You can look over at the left. If you're into sports, there's a crap load of sports channels. You've got 3 Disney channels, the Disney Channel, Disney Junior, Disney XD, Cartoon Network, AMC, BBC. I mean, you can just scroll down and see there's quite a few channels on this. Sci-Fi, Bravo, E if you're into that, and news, all of the major cable news channels, this newsy station, new thing. I'm not sure what it is. But there's quite a few channels. The channel selection, in my opinion, is very good. My dad has a cable package, and I think I've got a better selection than he does on the current cable package that he has. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. You can you can scroll over to different times of the day to see what's going to be coming up. So it's a very cable-like interface. It's pretty simple to use once you it's like any interface on your, whether it's a new phone or a computer or an operating system or an app. You always, you need to play around with the app and familiarize yourself with the interface. And once you kind of get it down, then it's pretty intuitive. And then you go and try a different app or device, and it's a little cumbersome, and it's because you're not used to it. So that is the deal with the interface. Now, at the beginning, I mentioned that you can pick this up for near $13. Well, I'm going to tell you how to do it. The service itself cost $40 plus tax. So my bill is looking at about $43 and something cents. However, I split it with my family member. So with one other family member, that's divide 40 by 2, it's 20 plus tax. So we're paying right around $22 each. You can get one more family member for 3. Divide 40 by 3, and you get 13, something like that, if I'm doing the math correctly. Now, here's the deal with the service. You can have a total of 3 streams going at the same time. So for instance, Netflix, if you have a Netflix subscription, you can have, for that $10 or whatever it is a month, you can stream to 2 devices at the same time. So if you've got a family member streaming to their phone and one stream into their Xbox, that's it. If somebody else wants to watch Netflix, and it's not happening unless you bump up to their premium package. With YouTubeTV here, you get 3 simultaneous streams going. So the way I'm currently using the service is my mother, who I'm splitting this with, she's about an hour and a half away from me, lives away in another town, and she has the YouTube TV on her Roku in her living room on her TV. I've got it on my NVIDIA Shield here on my living room. And then the extra stream that we have, we keep that one just for if we have family members come over to visit or we need to use it, then we can just use it, either one of us. And so that's the way we use it. If you have a third person and you want to be, strict and you use the one, I'll use the one, whatever, that's cool. And the neat thing, again, about it with this service is that you can have a family group. So again, if you want to share this with somebody else, you don't have to give them your username and password and worry about some kind of a security risk or them not being careful with it or protecting it. You can just invite them to the group, and then they set up their own username and password, and they set up the guide to look how they want it, And if they're not playing nicely or not paying their bill, guess what? You can delete them from the group and they don't have access anymore. So it's kind of a cool deal. So far, like I said, I've been using the service for a month. I'm happy with it. I'm going to give a test run to a few of these others and maybe do a couple videos on those and just to kind of compare and contrast and see how I feel about them. So anyhow, if you use YouTube TV and I've missed something, or haven't talked about something, or you have a question, please leave a comment. If you use any of the other services and you know of something that might be better, any kind of a suggestion, please leave a comment down below. I try to do my best to answer comments and stuff when I get the notifications and such. And so, but yeah, let me know. That's all I can think of at the top of my head. I really appreciate you watching my videos. I'm just doing this because I like to, share info about things I enjoy in my life, things that I find that, might make life a little bit simpler, or if a way that I can save some money on something, I just like to kind of do these, goof around and do these videos and, see what happens. So thanks for subscribing. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up, and we will be talking with you soon. Have a great day. Thanks. Smell you later. Dooby 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 doo boop 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 doo boop doo.